Hey everybody, it's me, Jesse, and today we're going to do some React Native work. In particular, we're going to create a new screen, and I have the designs up here. These might be familiar from earlier streams, but we're going to make a new screen so that when we click View All, we'll go to a screen that looks like this and has basically the same post component that we had from the last stream. Let's see if I can go back. Yeah, so we're keeping the same header. We're getting rid of the share and manage buttons. And we're keeping the same posts. In this case, announcements, which are basically just like pinned posts on the other screen. So the first step is going to be, let's actually create the screen. And let's create a route for the screen. We're using, I think, React Navigation for this. So we're going to take that first step. Once we do that, then we'll figure out how to actually get the data into that screen. All right. Before we start, I'll just give you, I guess, a little update from the last screen. So we have basically this entire screen implemented, and you get to see it in action when I bring up the simulator. But pretty much this whole screen is implemented right now, with the exception of this sort by. We don't have the sort by there. We'll add that in later. But everything else is there and it's working. We can like, comment, and share. So I haven't streamed for close to like 2 weeks now. So I have been doing a lot of work on this. And also a few updates. I don't know if anybody ever realized I have a fish tank behind me, but my fish in there sadly passed away. So I have no more fish, but I still have a fish tank. So we'll have to get some new fish to join us on our streams. Um, Also, I'm trying something new out today. So I don't know if anybody's into like has ever been into intermittent fasting, but I'm trying something out where I basically don't eat all day and then eat in the evening. Um, People have said that it helps like mentally. So we'll see how it goes. It's day one, so I don't expect to feel great on the first day of trying it out. But let me know if you think the streams are worse or better when I haven't eaten anything before I'm streaming. Let's see. All right, let's get started with some code. Hey, Amon's here. How's it going? Thanks for joining. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the live chat. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Let's see. So step one, let's create the screen. We'll move this over and let's look in our package JSON. This might seem weird to start here, but it'll make sense in a minute. So in our package JSON, we have this generator. So if I type, let's see, yarn generate, then we should be able to create a new screen. And we'll probably name this screen all announcements. So let's do yarn generate. And let me make this bigger. I'll go one more. There we are. That should be big enough. So this was set up by one of our other engineers. Shout out to Lucas for setting this up. We can do a component screen, which is the first option, which we want. That's what we want to do. This creates a component inside a screen's folder. All right, so it'll create. Let's see. This will be all announcements. Let me see what our naming convention is for a second. Yeah, it is capitalized. The component name. Oops, did I mess this up? Let's get out of here. Hold on a second. I think I messed it up. I think I read that wrong. A screen. I want to create a screen, not a component within a screen. That's what we want. All right. All announcements. There we are. So now we should have a folder called all announcements screen, and we do. And we can see we have an index and styles. So that's pretty cool. He used plop to set that up, PLOP. Um, so in our screen, we have basically everything we need to have a new screen. We're going to copy and paste some stuff over into this. But for now, it's pretty cool tool that we have to automatically create something. So let's go into our routes. Let's see if we have it down here. So routes. Thought we had a routes folder. Oh, it's above screens. I'm forgetting alphabetical order here. We're going to our routes folder into our index, and we're going to import the screen we just created. Import, what is it? Hey, Umberto's here. How's it going? Oh, what was this? All announcement screen from screens / all announcement screen. So now we have that imported. We can go down to where we have our routes, and we can add this screen. Now I'm going to make this a little bigger here so that we make sure we get it in the right spot. Okay. Let's say I want to put it up here by community details. Just logically for me, I'm thinking this screen branches off of the community details screen. So for me, I want to put it next to the community details screen in the routes. Sure, there's other ways we could do that, but I think this will be fine. Oh, I guess I could call it announcements. Do I need to make this? Yeah, I guess it needs to be like that. And then all announcements. Why is the name like this? Whoops. All announcement screen. Is that what I need? Why does it give me an error? Oh, there's no. This does not exist in our types, so we need to go over to screen types and say, let's see, what's our community screen? For now, I think I want to say we're going to do all announcements, and we're going to say undefined. I don't know that we'll necessarily need to pass anything in to our route. So we might need to come back to here and specify what we're going to pass into the route. We could see like where we're doing this. So in our church page, we pass in church name. Edit post page, we passed in form values. Okay, so you can pass in basically whatever you want. You see some of this is we're passing in whole objects. So we may need to do something like that. I have two ideas for passing in data. We could either pass it in here through the router, or we could just grab it from Redux. So I'm not sure yet which one we're going to use. So we'll go with undefined for now. This should allow us, we say our error should be gone, which it is. And this should also allow us to navigate to that screen. So let's go to our community details screen, which I guess I don't have up here. oops, let me switch to a branch as well. I'm doing this on the main branch. I don't want to be doing it on the main branch. So the way I like to name my branches is after the task number or the issue number in GitHub. So this is issue number 414. So we're going to say git checkout B for branch. And we're going to put the name of the branch as 414. And we'll say all announcements. So I like to give it a name that pertains. It's easy when I do the autocomplete. There should be only one branch with the issue number 414. So I can type 414 and then tab. It'll autocomplete the branch name for me. All right, now we're on a separate branch. I'm going to check the chat for a minute because there's a little bit in the chat. Amon says, earlier we were talking about intermittent fasting. Amon says, that's interesting. My only take with intermittent fasting is, how do you hold muscle by eating only one or a couple of times a day? Yeah, I'm interested in that too. I want to know how that is going to work out. Because I worked out this morning. I lifted weights and it went all right. I had enough energy to lift the weights, but I'm really interested to see like what it does in terms of muscle mass, and can I get enough protein in during that window of time when I'm eating. So we'll see. I'll probably have a protein shake and then some type of meal that's high in protein, and we'll see how it goes. That's the one thing I'm worried about is, can I actually eat enough protein during that meal? Um, I if you're just joining the stream, you're probably wondering what is going on. We have code up on the screen. We're talking about protein intake, but I'm going to get back to the code now. Well, I'm going to get back to the chat and then back to the code. Umberto says, oh, Umberto's doing good. I hope you are well as well. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I've been having, as you know, if you've watched the stream before, I'm sure I have depression. But to be honest, it's been not that bad lately. So I've been feeling pretty good lately. So I'm happy about that. And Amon says, would love to hear your talk on using types versus interfaces in TypeScript. Yeah. To be honest, mostly for component props, I use interfaces. I don't know why. That's just how I learned to do it. So I've always done that. For, let's say if I wanted to use an object within my interface, I would create a type for that. That's just the way I started to do it, and I've never looked into it more as to whether or not there's some sort of best practice around using interfaces or types. Mostly I use them for props, but I would say I use an interface for props, and then I would most likely use a type for most other things. But I'm no TypeScript expert. I just use it as best I can. But it seems to work for this. In this case, you could see we're using a type. So we have a pretty complex object here that we're using a type for. So I don't, types can definitely handle that. But I don't really know enough about it to tell you whether a type would be better to use here or an interface would be better to use here. Actually, the person on my team who's the TypeScript expert is name is Lucas, and I may do a video if I can figure out how to get two people on the screen. We may do a video about TypeScript. I've done a intro to TypeScript tutorial, which I'm sure you can find on my channel. I'm pretty sure I've done it, and this one would be maybe like a sequel to that, where I would go deeper into TypeScript, some more advanced stuff. Amon says, I'm the same with using interfaces for props just because I have seen that pattern a lot. Okay, well, maybe that is the accepted way to do it, because I've seen that pattern as well, and like I use that pattern. So for now, we are tentatively endorsing interfaces for types, but or interfaces for props. But we'll have to check with my resident TypeScript expert on that one at a future time. All right, so let's leave this screen up. We can probably get rid of routes, and we're looking for our community screen. So we're in our screens folder here, and we can find communities, community details screen. Let's close some of these folders so you can see where we're at. Let's go into the index. And this is where I want to copy and paste some of the stuff. So we can see we're getting a lot of data right now, like selected community from Redux. So we could either pass that data down or get it straight from Redux. I'm guessing passing the data down is probably going to end up being the best way to do it. Not 100% sure yet though. But what I want to get for now, what I want to do for now is add in the link so that we can get to our screen. So that link is actually going to be in another component. I think it's going to be in the content. Here we are. So our post content is, let's see, I'm trying to see where we actually put that in there. So it should say announcement somewhere in this file. Announcements, there we are. So we have a section title, announcements. And then let's see how we want to do this. We can wrap section title. Let's check our designs here. Yeah, so it looks like I want to see if we have the same styles on view all as we have on announcements. I don't think we do. Whoops. Let's check our styles here. This is Adobe XD, or at least like the web preview of Adobe XD. And let's check our styles here. Oops. Let me refresh this because it's displaying a little weird. All right, so this is 18 pixels, color purple heart, 18, and this is 15 pixels. All right, so they're not the same styles, so we can't use the same component for the styles. So let's wrap this in, for now, a view. And let's put a text component here. And it's going to say view all. All right, we're just worried about the look right now. Style equals color is going to be colors dot purple dark. So we have all our colors in a file, so I can pull in the right color here. And then, we need to give it, I think font size 15 is the default, so I'm not going to put that in there. And then our view, we're going to give it a style of flex direction row. And we're going to say justify content, space between. This should give us the spacing that we want. Row puts these two items side by side on the page, and then space between will space them out. So hopefully my simulator is still running and it's working. Let's pull this over here. We'll go into, I might have to restart the simulator. Do that now. Actually, I have my Android device plugged in. I'm going to unplug it so it doesn't try to run it on there instead of locally. Sometimes it'll do that. All right, this will just take a minute. I've been having this weird issue where only on the Android simulator, sometimes these navigation buttons just don't work. So it looks like right now nothing's working, which is why I'm restarting. But sometimes I can click on anything except the navigation buttons. And the only way I've come across to fix it is just to keep restarting the app until the buttons work. It's super annoying. If anybody's ever had a similar issue, let me know, especially if you've managed to fix it. But it doesn't happen on iOS, only on Android. I'm on a PC right now. Otherwise, I'd probably bring up the iOS simulator as well. It's probably going a bit slower than normal because I'm streaming at the same time. Let's see. I guess we can add in. Whoop. Now it works. There we are. And it brought up our dev tools as well. I'll move that off to the side. All right, let's see if it works. See, it's not, the buttons are not working. So I can click onto here, but I can't click here. So when that happens, I just pull up I pull this up, which I'm getting some issues in here, but I'm not exactly sure what they mean. So the app still runs even when I get them. There we are. Now it works. See, weird, really weird issue. I'm going to bring this up. This is kind of like a private community, so I often use this for testing. Okay. So we have a view all button here right by announcements. You can see that it looks good. And although it looks like the view all might be oriented to the top, it needs to be oriented to the bottom. So let's say align items. FLEX end. So we're gonna align items flex end. That should solve that. Whoa. I didn't realize the container was that large. Let's say it's also really weird that it only aligned them. Why did it align it like that? The section title component must have a height. Let's check it out. No, it doesn't. It has its own margin. Margin bottom. It's 18, color purple dark, margin bottom 21 pixels. So the margin bottom being on this component is not what we want. So let's give the margin, whoops, I didn't mean to go over there. Let's give this margin bottom of 0, and I must have never taken the style away. So I don't need those other styles since they're in our styles file. So let's do this and see what we get. It should be better. All right, cool. Now we can add the margin bottom. 21. That'll give us our margin back, but it should, there we are. So now these are lined up horizontally. Cool. Now let's make this button actually do something. So I'm going to wrap this text element in pressable, and then on press. That's it. I kept thinking on click, and I knew that wasn't the right one. on press, we're going to use, let's see what we need to use. Navigation.push, that's what we need. Navigation.push, and instead of create post, we're going to go to all announcements. Oops, and I need to actually close this. Save it. Now let's see if we can click. Where's there it is. All right, let's try clicking on it. Yay, it took us to the all announcements screen, which right now doesn't have much on it, but now at least we know that our navigation works. All announcement screen, we can hit back, it takes us back. Awesome. Now we need to actually put some sort of header on this. So let's go back to our community index screen, or it's community details screen index file. And let's see where we're getting this header container at. I think it's here. So we're going to grab this whole container. Actually, let's grab all of this. Okay. We're going to grab all of this and then take out the stuff that we don't need. Well, where's our all? I think I lost it. There it is. All announcement screen. And we can get rid of one of these returns. Actually, let's just do this. There we are. Okay. We need to add in our styles as well. So I'm just going to grab, on this screen, I'm going to bring up the styles for our new component. And then on this screen, I'm going to grab these styles. I'm just going to copy them all for now. We can get rid of the ones we don't need later on. And let's pull in the styles. Where'd my other screen go? Let's put those two screens we're using on different panes here, and it should be easier. So we need to import these styles. Where's all our styles? There it is. Okay. Now we should have our styles in here. Unless there's something else. Looks like we do have, so we have like an activity indicator that we're not pulling in. So let's pull that in. Let's see what else we have. We need to pull in the screen header. Let's find that. Oops, I want to do it over here. And we need our TB curved header and our TB custom screen header. TB header. What's the other one? TB custom screen header. All right, so now we have those tabs, community header. Thought we had that in our styles folder. Border button, TB border button. Maybe we don't have those. There might be another screen. Tabs. Okay, so there's the styles, and then there's tab styles and common styles. All right, so we may have to pull in some other styles here. We don't need our tabs. Let's just get rid of those because we don't want tabs. We don't need our tabs container. We do need the header. We don't need to render tab content either, or worry about active tab. Okay. We need community header. All right, so it's definitely not in our styles right now. I wonder if that's a component. No, it's just in the styles. Community details screen. Community header from community header. I guess that is a component that we have in. Oh, so we have a whole component in here. Let's pull this then from where it is. I want to use the same component. I wonder if it'll auto import for us if we do this. And that should have been in there already. Yeah, maybe it's just showing an error because we have an error here. Screen title is going to be a string. Oh. All announcements. Yeah. Yep, they are. It told me curly braces are unnecessary here. They definitely are. Okay. And we go to community header. There we are. I have this some package or something, or maybe VS Code does it automatically where it'll autocomplete for me the component I want to use, and then it'll also pull it in. So we don't have to worry about how we traverse the tree of folders. It'll just pull it in. So it's kind of a little shortcut. Let's see. This to do is add all announcements to root stack param list, which we did. So I'm going to get rid of that. All right. I'm going to save this. We do need this selected community. So I think I'm going to pass this down as a prop. Navigation props. So we do have an interface already created for our props. Selected community. Selected community. We may have something in TypeScript for this right now. We'll look that up if we have time. Or how are we going to pass this? Yeah, we can't pass it like that. I just realized we need to pass it. My only issue here as to why I don't want to use Redux is I'm not sure if Redux will... I'm not sure if when we call this in Redux, if we'll get the right data or not. Actually, we might. Let me take this out of here and let's just get it through Redux. So should see here something in Redux about getting the selected community. Let's pull our... Let's find out where we have this. Selected community from use community selector. That's what we need. So we're going to do a little bit of Redux here. And we're going to get the... So now we're just going to pull in selected community. And then we need the use community selector from Redux. There it is. And we don't need community actions. We just need that use community selector. And that's going to give us the data that we need. So we're going to have selected community now. We should be able to... Cannot find name selected community. Well, why not? Because I put it in the wrong place. There we are. All right, so now we should be getting our selected community. But image and ID is not coming up. Why is it not coming up? Because we're probably passing it. Where are we getting this? Oh, we're getting that from the params, the route params. We might have to change this up then. Let's go to our schema and see what we should be getting on community. Okay, so it is image. So if we go selected community dot image, yep, like that, and then selected community dot ID. Let me wrap this because this is... I don't like it when it goes off the screen. View toggle word wrap. There we go. Okay. So what else do we have? Is loading. I guess I'll just pull this in for now and keep it as false, and then we can worry about the loading at some other time. I wonder where we're actually doing this. Set is loading. I don't think we need to do this right now. Let's set this to false for now. We may not need to get any data. So like when you click on this page, it's actually using this action of select community, which is putting data into Redux about that community. But we just want to read that same data that was in there. We don't want to load new data. So we may not even need this loading screen. It should just be automatic. All right, let's just see what we get now. Probably an error, but we'll see. Yep, use state is not defined. Are we using use state somewhere? Yo, we are with this the set loading that I just had in there. So let's go use state. All right, I'll try it again. Oh, if it lets me go back there. No. Gotta reload it. Hey, somebody else is in the chat. It's I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Sofan? I don't know. Let me know how to pronounce your name. Apologies for messing it up, but they said hello. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. Right now, I'm just refreshing until I can get this button to work. There we are. All right, it worked. Now let's do view all. What do we have? Image is not defined. Are you using image somewhere else? Oh, we're using it here. Okay, so we need to change this to selected. Community. Whoa. Dot image. And then there we are. Oh, default image, huh? We don't have our default image. Let's do that. Grab the default image. All right, let's see. Dang, this issue with the not being able to click the button is pretty annoying. Trying to find like the nicest way to put it, but it's very annoying. All right. Hey, it worked. Okay, here's our page now. So looks like there's a little bit of something going on there. But we need to change the padding, or I don't know what we need to do. But we have Tabella team. We need to not have these though. So these must exist inside that component. So we How can we do this? We can probably either copy that component. We can copy this component and make a new one with these two out, or we can edit the component to make these optional. Let's just take a look at the component and see how complex it is. So community header is the component we want to look at. Okay, it looks like there's a decent amount of logic in here that we don't need. So let's just take this and copy it and then pull out the logic that we don't need. So we're going to copy and then come down to our, go up to our all announcements screen, and we're going to paste it in there. Let's get rid of this for now. And let's change the name of this. Change it to announcements header. Let's go in the index file, change it to announcements header. And in our announcement screen, we need to change where we're getting this from. So instead of community header, let's say announcements header. And this is now here. All right, so because it's in the same folder, we're going to say /announcements header. Does it look like there's like a purple glow around me? I don't know why it does that, but for some reason my camera gives me a purple glow. It doesn't always do that either. I just noticed it on this live stream. Okay, now let's go into announcements header. Let's take out the logic we don't need. There's a lot of stuff we don't need. This whole row with the buttons we don't need. We don't need this anymore, I guess. Don't need our navigation props. Oops, I need to change this to announcements. All right, Umberto says the camera's hazy but not bothersome. Yeah, nobody watches the stream for me anyway. I just put my face up here to help you all understand what I'm saying better. In case basically, like, there are people who, number one, who can like read lips, and it helps them to understand. Number two, just my expressions convey a lot. Um, right, when you can see someone, when you see their face, you get a better understanding of what they're trying to convey. So I may say something with a smile on my face, and you would understand maybe that I'm joking. But if you couldn't see my face, then maybe you wouldn't understand that I'm joking, right? So um, that's why I show my face on here. I don't have any illusions that you all joined to see me. All right, and we can get rid of a lot of this stuff. This is going to be a nice tiny component when we're done with it. All right, save it. And let's go to, uh-oh, were we pulling in selected community from Redux here? I think we were. Let's add it in as a prop then. I'm putting any for now until I figure out where the type, because there's probably a type for this somewhere. Got to figure out where that is so that we could type this. Okay, let's save that, and then now we can pass in selected community instead of community ID. Now let's see what we have. An error. None of these files exist. I think we got to restart our server because we created some new files. All right, let's see. Umberto says, I watch your stream when I can catch it, but I definitely understand what you mean. I don't really put much thought into how people receive the things I say. I don't use my camera while I'm streaming from home, at least at the moment. Yeah, when I started out, I didn't use my camera either. I think it's easier to start out like that because it's just less to worry about. You don't have to worry about, well, how do I look to have something like weird on my face, or what am I doing with my face, right? So it's probably easier to when you're getting started streaming to not worry about showing your face, right? Then you don't need a camera. You just simplify it so much because you just need a mic and a screen. When you add in the camera, then you got to think about like what's going on behind you as well. Like I know once I had a live stream a long time ago at my old house where I think one of my kids was using the bathroom behind me, and like they ran out of the bathroom. I don't think they had pants on. Luckily, like you couldn't, the camera wasn't down low enough that you could see it. But like potentially there's a lot more to worry about when you actually have the camera on. Okay. Now that this restarted, uh-oh. Let's just reload. What's happening? Community image card. Oh, maybe the community image card is. Are we not getting it from the right place? All right. So we're pulling this in now properly. Reload from here. All right, cool. Now that looks a lot better. Let's bring over our designs. See, when we click on this, looks pretty close. We need to make this a bit smaller, but overall pretty close. Not bad. I'm gonna say that's only a few pixels at the bottom. Maybe we want to cut this down in pixels. So let's see where this happens at. Probably in community image card or TV card. Maybe we can, maybe it's a padding issue. Let's go padding bottom. Let's just set it to 0 to see if we're even affecting anything. All right, cool. That got a little bit smaller. And for this card, I don't know if you noticed this. Let me show you the problem. So the problem is like the shadow, you can't really see the shadow. It cuts off here. So we need to add a little bit of a margin. Let's just give it 6 pixels. There we are. Now we can see the full shadow. So just a little trick, I guess, when you're using shadows and elevation in React Native. Sometimes you need to do that. Also, this all announcements up here is pretty close. So I think we want to change that a bit. I wonder if we can add. So what I'm guessing here is that this has some sort of negative margin. So if we give its container, which would be this card, see it's containing it, we could increase the margin for both of these things. So let's see if that works. Actually, let's change this to margin vertical. See what we get. Yep, perfect. So you see we put a little bit of a space in there. Looks a lot better. All right. So that's the header. We can worry about the real content, which shouldn't be too hard since we have selected community. We should have all the data that we need. All right. How long we been going for? About an hour. About an hour. If you're watching, let me know. You want me to keep going and maybe put in some more data, or do we want to save this for another stream? I could probably go for. Let me double check my meeting time just to be sure. I think I am good for at least another half an hour though. Oh yeah, for sure. My meeting's not for a while. Okay. Let's do this then. So right now we have returning just this. Let's go to our community details screen and see what we have. Basically, we have a scroll view, which we're going to need. So let's wrap this in a scroll view. Okay. And then let's go to our post content, which is where we have our posts. Let's see. We probably should make this a component, because we're going to reuse all of it. I want to see if we have, I'm going to name it TB postcard. Just making sure we don't have it already. All right, let's go back to our generate script. Component postcard. There we are. All right, this is going to be a significant component here. So I'm going to copy it for now. We'll leave this on this side, and then over on this side, we'll check out our new component, TB postcard. We're going to return all of this, but we need to pull over quite a bit. So we can actually do some of this here. TB card, pressable, TB avatar, uText row, TB publish date time, TB button, post like button. So much. Gotta pass in so much stuff. Okay. And we need to pull in a bunch of things that we're importing. A lot of stuff. All right. You might want to add in so all this video embed stuff. Taking this stuff out is going to start to break stuff, but that's just the way it's going to be for a little bit. pull in TB postcard. So it certainly cleans up this this component quite a bit. But we're going to need to pass in post equals post. And then here we can do post and then post TB postcard props. And now a lot of our stuff here should start working. Yeah. Cannot find name pressable. About that. Colors. We need to import colors. Let's start taking these out. We need share. We need probably need use. What are we doing? Use ref and use state. Use state. I don't know what these are doing here. Add YouTube link URLs. Oops. Didn't copy it first. I just don't think we need these pieces of state here. No, we don't. Add YouTube link URLs. Because we're not setting them anywhere. This, I believe, was put in here for when there's multiple URLs, which I don't think we're handling right now. So we can get rid of this one. And I don't think we need this one either. Okay, cool. I love getting rid of code we don't need. All right, this basically goes through the content and says, like, is there a YouTube video embed? Or I should say we pass it a link and we say, is this a YouTube embed? All right. I'm going to save everything. Well, let's get rid of some of this stuff we don't need. Oh, I know what we do need, though. We need to pull in all this stuff from styles, and we need to actually bring it into styles component. So let's bring up our styles component. We'll pull in the styles that we need. and put them into our TB postcard styles component. Post content. There we are. Let's bring in colors. And that's the wrong spot, I believe. And that'll work. That's good. Pick input section title. We don't need this. We don't need this. Say we don't need this or this. All right. Do we need post title? No. Now we can go back to this styles page and get rid of, what are we using here? Row, post image, and post title. Unless, are we still using row? Nope. We just need those two. Looks like we're not even pulling in this clock icon. Or content text. Nice. That is much smaller. All right, let's look at our app and see what errors we're getting. Uh-oh. Well, I can tell already we've done something that's messed this up because we don't have any announcements. What happened here? It should be get filtered post. This should say render post, which should be the same as this. But filter should be true. I don't know how I took that out, but it was an accident. Unless we just don't have any of those posts, but I think we do. We had one. Unless it got deleted. Yep. Definitely not working right. Set filtered. Get filtered posts. True. So if we pass in get filtered post true, we should return is announcement true, it should return post with the filter of is announcement true. All right, and we do have posts like that. The only I could think of, maybe let's refresh. Maybe it just got stuck. Let's restart. What we can do while we're waiting is basically grab this filter. So we want to use the same filter and say I'm going to say it. This should still work. Should definitely still work. And render post is still there. We're passing an array. Missing a key prop. We can definitely add that though. Post ID. Oh, it probably wants us to add it in here though. The heck. What is the problem? All right, let's shut it down. Pull it back up. Hopefully this will work. All right, the next thing we'll need to do on our announcements thing is add in basically selected community dot post I think this is what it'll be. This is what we want. So when is announcement is true, If that's true, then we want to map into post. So what we want to do is take all our selected communities, get all the posts from our selected community, and then I believe the next key in that object is items, and that gives us an array. We're going to filter that array and say for each post, if it is an announcement, then we want to basically add it to a new array. Then we're going to take that array and map over it. And for each post in that array, we want to render a TV post card with the data for that particular post. At least that's I hope it works out. All right, where are we at? Let's see if we can get the. It's looking good. We didn't get an error message right away. Let's see what happens here. We're still doing some bundling. What do we got? Colors is not in the right spot. No, I think that's good. I'm going to see what component this is in. It's in a lot of components like that. Dang it. I had it, and then I didn't have it. All right, this narrows it down a little bit. There we are. It's in our styles folder. Oh, we're already in the components folder here. Yeah, this should be good. All right, there we go. Dealing with file paths is tricky sometimes. All right, load this up, see if it's working. We're probably going to get an error somewhere, but if we don't, then we're almost done. Hey, we getting the announcements? Cool, we got 2 announcements now. Let's view all. Yay, look, announcements are here. awesome. We need a little bit more padding at the top. So actually, we'll just put this at the bottom here. Let's say, let's change this to margin top. And then we'll give it a margin bottom of, let me see, 21. All right. Look at that. Let's try to like it. Look like that worked. See if we can do share. That worked. See if we can comment. No, we can't comment. We need navigation. So our TB postcard needs the ability to navigate. So let's see. Navigation. So let's bring in use navigation. And then let's see where we're using this at. Navigation. Oh, we don't need this anymore. Cool. Takes us to our post. Awesome. Cool, everything works. That takes us to our post. See if our video works. Yeah, it works. All right. We did it. We did it. We implemented this whole new page, pulls in data and everything. And let's see. We did it in, actually, I just noticed something. At the top here, is that supposed to be, so you see we have the correct, okay, what just happened? We have the correct border radius here, but not up here. Let's see. Yeah, see, we got a nice border radius there. So I think it was something in our styles. All right. We can figure this style thing out, then we're good. So we made our announcements header component. Oh no, I put this all in the announcements header. This is supposed to go in the announcements page. I put it on the wrong page. How did that even work? All right, where's our announcements page? Oh, announcement screen. Let's take this. Put it under our all announcement screen. And we can take the scroll view out, so we don't need it. So we essentially have a double scroll view. Who knows? That might fix the problem. Uh-oh. TV postcard. Can't find variable TV. Okay. Of course we can't find it because I didn't import it. Now we should be good. All right, cool. So that fixed that problem, but it gave us a different problem, which is it's taking up the full width here. So maybe we want to put this inside the container. Yeah, we do. There we are. All right, cool. Now there's some stuff we still need to do. We should do on our first refactor, and that is make sure that we have proper types for everything. So there were places where like we're using selected community and we may have a type for that somewhere that we can just import and use. It's not a type I would want to create right now because there's quite a bit of stuff coming in for the data for community, but it's possible that we have some sort of auto-generated type or somebody has made that type already, so we want to find that. There's some places where we use inline styles where we could probably move that to a styles folder. So those are two kind of chores that wouldn't affect the user experience at all, but it will definitely help the developer experience. So we may want to do that. But other than that, I'd say this is ready for a commit. Let's check our status. We've added a bunch of stuff. Probably could have done a few commits along the way, but really, we've been streaming for an hour and a half, so not 100% necessary to commit that often, but I do like to have small, frequent commits when I can. So we're going to do a git add and put a period there to just add everything. We can see on our git status now that everything is ready to be committed, to be committed. We're going to git commit with the M flag, and we're going to say this is a new feature, and this is add all announcements screen. We're going to push this, git push origin, and then that 414/all announcements. Now that's pushed up to GitHub. Later on, I can go into GitHub and accept that commit, and we will have a screen that shows us all the announcements. All right, that's about it for this stream. Definitely accomplished what we meant to accomplish. I wasn't sure we'd be able to do it in one stream, but we did. So thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll be back soon for another stream. But until then, have a great day, have a great weekend, happy Friday, and I'll see y'all later.